Hi, my name's Katie Branch of Halls Upon Healing Arts, and I'm going to offer you a gentle yoga class this morning. It'll be about an hour, and I hope that you can take some time to really be good and gentle and compassionate with yourself to share this practice. I always like to start with taking some deep breaths in. So, breathing in, loosen your jaw, and just sigh out. And do that a couple more times. And notice when you start breathing in, it brings you into your body. So allow your breath to scan down into your body. Notice if there's any places that are tight or have sensation or tension, and just give them a gentle, gentle movement as you breathe in. Bring the breath down in, feeling around, and just kind of letting go, relaxing, releasing tension out of the body. So we're going to take our hands and press them into our scalp and move the skin on our scalp around on top of our skull. A lot of us carry a lot of tension in our heads. We think a lot and kind of get nervous or worried. So we're just going to tell our brains and our minds and our bodies and our spirits that we can relax and just go along for the ride with Katie today. I will let you know everything you need to know. You can just relax and follow my lead. And just only thing you need to do is if anything's uncomfortable in any way, just modify or, ease up or, do what feels good. So don't forget to massage the occiput with a big bumps on the back of the bottom of your skull. It's another place that carries a lot of tension. We're going to take our hand and just reach around and hold the back of your neck. So you're squeezing the big muscles on either side of your spine together and back. It's a kind of way of massaging the neck. And then take the other hand and the same thing. Squeeze both sides of the neck and pull the spine, pull away from the spine. Beautiful. Excellent. We're going to take our two peace fingers and put one in front of our ear and one behind, and then rub in front and behind the ear. Again, that's another place that can carry and hold tension. So we're just inviting that spot to relax and release. Using our breath to soften and open and bring oxygen into the body. We'll massage the ears. So our ears and our hands and our feet all have reflexology points, and we can stimulate those reflexology points that actually affect the rest of the body. So just giving your ears and your hands and your feet a good rub is really great for healing. We're going to take our fingers and press them in our cheekbones. So from the top of your cheek down to your jaw is the jaw muscles. And what you do, those get really tight sometimes. So we're going to cross fiber, just moving between the corners of the lips and the bottoms of the earlobes and massage there. So you can open your mouth up and feel if there are any places that are tight or tense and give them a little rub. So you never want to do anything that's painful. We want to make this practice as pleasurable and as enjoyable and luscious as possible. So whatever I invite you to do, make it, own it yours, make it yours. And we're going to gently come to just behind the corner of the jaw under the earlobe. And there's a cluster of lymph nodes there. Very gently stimulate those lymph nodes because that boosts the immune system. If they're tender, be extra gentle because that means they're already working. And we're going to massage on either side of the throat. Just gently, enjoyably rubbing your sides of your throat, not on the front of the throat because that's uncomfortable. And all these jaw muscles kind of come down and they dive down inside your clavicle. So the clavicle is the bones that cross here. You can just cross fiber your muscles by rubbing to side. And then rub your shoulders. So you can either, take your hands and rub this way, or you can rub one side or the other. A lot of us carry tension in our shoulders, so we want to just kind of keep being mindful of relaxing them. Beautiful. I want to rub our hands together really hard. Go hard and fast so you're getting a lot of heat in your hands and you're stimulating all of those reflexology points at the same time. Once your hands are warm, you can put your hands on your face and open your eyes and just let the warmth of your hands travel down into your eyes, relaxing your, the whole orbital area, and then gently caressing your face. So smoothing the forehead, kind of wiping away any tension, gently caressing the lips, and just kind of saying hello to yourself. Good morning, hello, I love you. Really being present with this being, this body, this, this person that you are, and gifting yourself with this time and this attention and this loving, compassionate, practice. We're going to rub our chest. So really scrub the chest. Lots of lymph nodes here as well. We're stimulating the heart and the lungs. You might just pat your chest. And I know sometimes in the past when I have felt a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of reasons that people are feeling anxious these days. You can just comfort yourself by patting your chest and saying, I love you, and bringing yourself back to your center. Yoga is a whole practice of bringing ourselves back to our essence, back to our center, back to, what makes us ourselves. And so we just keep practicing that. Another great little 2-minute practice is called a vagus nerve release. So the vagus nerve starts up in the amygdala or the brainstem and comes down and innervates the rest of the body. If the vagus nerve is crimped, then it can create a lot of anxiety and tension and put us into fight, flight, or freeze. So there's a really super simple way of releasing that. You just gently soften one ear down towards the shoulder, keep your face facing straight forward, and then bring your gaze up to the ceiling. You're looking as high up to the ceiling as you can. You hold this for 60 seconds or until you swallow or yawn or sigh. And this pose helps to open up the passageway through which the vagus nerve passes so it doesn't get crimped and constricted, and should, make you feel pretty relaxed and released pretty quickly. So we'll hold there just for 60 seconds and then come back to center and just shut your eyes for a second and notice if you notice anything different. And then soften the other ear down towards the other shoulder, face straight forward, gaze up at the ceiling, and relax the neck and shoulders and back. Just soften into the pose. Hold here for 60 seconds or until you swallow, yawn, or sigh. So this little exercise helps us get out of our, primal, primitive fight, flight, or freeze response and into our prefrontal cortex so that we can think clearly and calmly. Bring the head back to center, shut your eyes, and just see how that feels. Great. So you might feel an opening, a softening, a enlivening, a tingling, whatever it is you feel. It's great. We want to just pay attention to that. We're going to stand up and move our fingers and our toes. So in every joint in the body is synovial fluid. If you don't move the joints, then the synovial fluid doesn't squirt out to lubricate and protect the joints. So we're going to move our fingers and our toes, our wrists, and our ankles. So however you can move is great. You can keep your feet on the floor or move them around, whatever works for you. Fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, elbows, and knees. So just isolating, waking all these joints up, fingers, toes, wrists, ankles, elbows, knees, knees, shoulders. Feel into these big joints of the shoulders. They move in all kinds of directions. So see, how do your shoulders feel good moving today? And just move them around. So oiling the joints, right? So our shoulders have a spine connected to them all the way down. So these are a stack of joints. So imagine you're moving the joints of your upper spine and your neck, kind of feeling around in all those joints in the upper spine. Can move forward and backwards and side to side around in a circle, and bring your attention to your mid spine and see if you can just move that forward and back, side to side, and bring your attention down to your lower spine. So deep, dropping down towards the pelvis, and see if you can like isolate the spine and move that around a bit. And then the hips. So move the hips in a way that you're really exploring, how can my hips move around? What feels good? Or are there any sticky spots that you want to give some more breath or movement to? Great. Moving the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles, the elbows and the knees. Keep breathing the shoulders and the hips and the spine, and just give your body permission to just move. So kind of fluidly, breathfully, curiously listening to how does your body want to move today, and letting the body be in charge, not your head. And what will often happen is that your body knows exactly what it needs, and it will self-adjust if you let it move how it wants to. Keep breathing. Beautiful. And let your head have a little jiggle. So imagine that you're clearing the cobwebs out of your head, loosen up your jaws and kind of let your tongue be loose and kind of let go. Let your head have a little jiggle. Let that move down to your neck and your shoulders. We have built-in pathways for release, down the arms and out the fingers, down the legs and out the toes. So we can open those channels up. Let any tension from the head, neck, and shoulders, upper chest and back wash down the arms and out the fingers. Just feel that release happen. Let that jiggle move down into your torso, all your organs that are always working for us, the spleen and the liver and the gallbladder and the duodenum and the pancreas and 21 feet of intestines and your reproductive parts, like all these parts that are constantly working for us without us even thinking about it. So just bring some real gratitude into this movement of bringing conscious awareness and waking up all those parts with some appreciation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then let that move down into the hips and wiggle, jiggle, giggle your hips in whatever way feels good to you. You might make a little sound. And then let any tension go down the legs and out the feet. So we're letting go, letting go, letting go, kind of clearing the whole system. And then you can just do a little shiver of whatever shiver feels good to you. Shake in parts that feel good to shake, or you can do an all-out shake. So listen to what your body would like and just really kind of feel into what feels good. If you really just let go, let go, let go. Whatever way feels, all the critters on the planet, all mammals, they shake, right? The horses and the cats and the dogs, they all go, oh, and they shake off tension. We just need to practice doing that more. Then take a deep breath in and scoop up health and happiness and let it pour down through your system. Exhale, let go of anything that interferes with that. Inhale, love and light. Let go of anything that interferes with the exhale, and inhale, peace, passion, and purpose, and let go of anything that interferes with that. We're going to come to a seat and grab a blanket or block or pillow, or you can sit on a chair. Just, we want to have enough support under our hips so that our spine can float effortlessly up without pulling forwards and backwards. Ideally, you want your knees sort of level with or lower than your hips, and that allows the spine to sit comfortably upright. So find a comfortable seat. Invite your body, mind, and spirit to arrive here and now, letting go of all the things that can pull us away from ourselves. Drop the weight of your body down onto the floor so you can feel your hips and your thighs and your knees, whatever parts are touching the floor of the chair. And allow yourself to be held and supported by the earth. This big, beautiful planet that we are a part of, that provides what we need and connects us to what we love. Bring your attention to your sits bones. They're at the base of your spine, the two bones that kind of drop down, and drop them down a little bit more. It might be a fraction of an inch, or it might be an inch. Just imagine you're growing roots down into this beautiful, healthy, healing planet that's nurturing and nourishing us all the time. As you root the sits bones down, allow the spine to unfurl, to lift and open the heart. Broaden your collarbones, draw your shoulder blades back behind together, and drop down to hug the spine. This creates a straight, strong seat, and you can gently roll your head around on the top of your shoulders, releasing even more tension out of the head, neck, and shoulders. And balance your head on the top of your spine. Lift your crown up and open. So imagine you're just opening up the top of your head to magic, mystery, wonder, heaven, spirit, whatever it is that you call on for inspiration, and let that pour down through your body. So rooting the sits bones down into the earth and lifting your crown up to heaven creates space in your torso for all your organs, your heart, and your lungs. And without changing anything, just pay attention to your breath. Notice how your breath moves in through your nose, down into your lungs or your belly. You don't have to change anything. Really just noticing, witnessing, and appreciating this mechanism that keeps us alive and healthy every day, all the time. We're going to take a deeper breath in and count as you inhale. How many counts does it take to fully inhale? And then exhale and count the same number. So you want your inhale and your exhale to be even. This is called even breathing. You can use Ujjayi breath, which is breathing in and out through the nose and hearing the sound of the breath on the back of your throat. And extend your arms out to the sides. Inhale your hands overhead, palms touch, and bring your hands to your heart. Set an intention for yourself. It can be to remember to breathe or to be gentle and compassionate, or it can be setting an intention that you have for your life. And we'll seal all of our intentions together with 3 ohms. So just taking a breath in. Notice how the resonance of sound and vibration moves and, affects your body by chanting, by sounding, by breathing. Om is the sound of the universe that connects us to everything. It's a good way of starting a practice. Relax the hands down. You can stay on your seat. You can stay in your chair or on your block or whatever feels good to you, or you can come down onto the mat in easy pose. So the ankles are crossed comfortably in front of you. You can put your hands on your ankles or you can put your hands on your knees. We're going to roll the shoulders back, lift the heart up, and inhale the rib cage forward. So you're really trying to have your spine be in a kind of convex position, inhaling, and then exhale, press the mid back as far back as you can. So you're in a concave direction with your spine. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart up, draw the rib cage forward, and exhale, press the mid back back. You're keeping your chin kind of parallel to the floor, really using the breath to fill you up and empty you out. We're waking up the spine. We're going to do the same thing in a circle. So rolling the shoulders back, lift the heart up, draw the rib cage forward, and then exhale, just fold to the side. Exhale completely when you're at the back, and then start breathing on your inhale forward. Notice which direction you're circling in and reverse direction. And come to center. And again, just shut the eyes and feel what's happening inside. Like you might feel blood flowing or tingling or warming sensation. We're waking up the life force energy, the prana in the body with these activities. We want to celebrate that enlivenment. Roll over onto your hands and your knees for cow-cat. So the wrists are directly below the shoulders, knees are directly below the hips, and you inhale the head and the tail up, drawing the chest forward, and exhale the head and the tail down, lifting the mid back as high to the sky as you can. You can continue doing this, inhaling the head and the tail up, drawing the chest forward. Exhale the head and the tail down. Press the mid back up to the sky. Or you can add lifting your leg up on the inhale and drawing the knee to the nose on the exhale. So do what feels right and good in your body. Never push beyond where it is that you're actually enjoying the practice. And breathe. If you're using your leg, we're going to switch legs. Inhale up and exhale, knee to the nose. And tuck your toes underneath your feet. Spread the fingers wide and lift the hips up into downward facing dog. So you just want to gently pedal the feet out. Lift your hips up so that your spine is kind of hanging from your hips, and then let your head completely dangle from your spine. So you want no tension in the head, neck, and shoulders. And breathe here. You can walk your feet towards your hands or your hands towards your feet, either way, into half lift. So you can have your hands on the shins, roll the shoulders back, tip the tailbone up so that your back is flat. You can also bring the hands to the mat. Take a breath in here and then fold forward. So just let the head hang from the spine, let the spine hang from the hips, and soften the whole back sheath of the body. So soften your calves, your hamstrings, your spine, your head. Nod your head yes, and shake your head no. And then ring your head like a bell side to side, just really letting any tension out of the head, neck, and shoulders. Slight bend in the knees, and inhale the arms out to the sides and overhead. Little tiny back bend, and then bring your hands to your heart and feel how all that feels in your body. Going to inhale the chin up and exhale the chin down. Inhale the chin up. Exhale the chin down. This time we're going to add our arms. Inhale the chin up, opening up wide. Exhale the chin down, bringing hands to heart. Inhale the chin up, open up the arms and sort of welcoming in beautiful healing energy from the universe. Exhale in prayer, sending it out to those you love. And then we'll bring our hands out in front, palms together. Keep your gaze on your fingertips. We're going to make big, huge figure eights. So big circle on one side, coming through the middle, circle on the other side. We're keeping our gaze on our fingertips, making as big figure eight as we can. This is an educational kinesiology or brain gym activity that crosses over the midline and helps balance and focus and opens up the channel between the right and left hemispheres of the brain to be able to kind of communicate better. So notice which direction your figure eight is going in and reverse that direction. So your big circles are going to go in the opposite direction than they were just going in, still coming through the center. Keep breathing, keep looking at the fingertips. And bring the hands back to center, relax down. We're going to inhale the shoulders up in front and then squeeze the shoulder blades down behind as we exhale. So it's big shoulder rolls. Inhaling up in front, exhaling down behind, feeling into your shoulder girdle. Really see how good you can make it feel. All of this is about like creating openness and freedom and flexibility and flow in the body. So as much as you can enjoy it, the body responds to that. We're going to reverse direction. So inhale, squeeze the shoulders behind and up, and exhale down in front. Keep breathing, relax the jaws. feel into the body any way that feels good to you. Beautiful. We'll inhale the right arm up to the sky. And as you reach up, you might notice some sticky spots, especially as you start letting the arm move behind. A lot of people have places that are sticky or glitchy, and we just want to take some time with that spot, breathe in, and gently move the hand or the arm in a way that sort of says, I see you, I hear you, and I'm inviting you to relax. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Inhale, arm up, any place that you find a sticky spot or tender place, or a place that just isn't easy flowing. Give it more breath, more attention, and a little movement, and see if you can invite and coax it to relax. So we'll do this a couple more times on both sides. Exploring, being curious, really like compassionately accepting whatever is and then giving it some love. It's amazing how well we all respond to loving attention. So the more that we can give that to ourselves, the more that our bodies and our muscles and our cells and our organs all, respond to that kind of loving attention. So now we're going to go backwards. Inhale the arm up behind. Again, just noticing if there's any places that are, would like a little bit of movement or breath or stretch, really being attentive, not just, you don't want to just wing your arms around really fast, not paying attention, not being embodied. We're bringing our attention down to be embodied in our bodies. And, the way we do that is by really paying attention to all the different parts and listening to what they have to say to us. Beautiful. So we're going to draw the rib cage forward and backwards. So try to keep your shoulders over your hips and isolate the rib cage, moving it forwards and backwards. And then side to side. So sometimes it's helpful to put your hands on your ribs to find your ribs, and then try to keep the shoulders and the hips still and move the rib cage. We're isolating the rib cage because the spine is attached to the rib cage, and we want to open up and wake up and engage each one of our vertebrae. So now we're going to do that in a circle. So trying to keep the shoulders and the hips still, move the rib cage around in a circle in one direction, and then in the other direction. Beautiful. We're going to do some pelvic tilts. So just tipping the pelvis forwards and backwards. This is really good for lower back. So if you have any lower back kind of issues, you can gently feel into the pelvic tilts. You can do this laying on the floor as well. Great. And then big hip circles. So moving your hips around in a big circle. And feel that all the way down to your feet, all the way up to your head. Your hip circles, you think you're moving the hips, but really you're engaging the whole body in all of the movements that we do. Notice which direction you're circling in and reverse. And then we're going to do figure eights with our hips. So a big hip circling around, come back through the center and circle the hip and the other hip. So if you were to tie a piece of chalk to your belly button and drop it down to the floor, when you do this motion with your hips, you would draw a figure eight on the floor underneath of you. And keep breathing, enjoying the movement. Notice which direction your figure eight's going in and reverse direction. Great. We're going to lift the right heel up, and you can press the toes down into the floor. You can just hold still, or you can kind of massage the toes, whatever feels good to you. Just, you can always have a chair or a wall or a couch or something handy if you're doing any of these balancing poses and you want a little bit more stability. Please use that. So next we're going to roll over the tops of the toes. So we're stretching the top of the foot. And then rolling over the toes in a circle. So we're massaging the whole top, ball of the foot, toes, moving it around. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction. So rolling over the toes. You can notice how this is affecting the whole foot, leg, hip, the whole body kind of gets involved in this. And we'll switch feet. So lifting the other heel up and pressing the toes down. Of course, you just only do what feels good, right? So if it feels too tight, then sort of just go gentle. If you want more of a stretch, you can move around and find, well, where does it feel like that feels like a good stretch? Keep breathing. And roll over the top of the toes. And in a circle. And in the other direction. Great. We're going to come and just gently lift up and down on our toes. So kind of just feel how it feels to you to lift up and down. You can continue moving up and down, or you can come onto your toes and stay up on your toes if that feels good as a balancing pose for you today. And then we're going to gently march. So slow, 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 lift up one knee and drop it down. You're really pouring the weight of the body into one leg, lifting up the other leg. So it's a balancing pose as you march slowly. You can add crossing your hand across to the opposite knee. That creates more of that cross lateral movement. Or you can windmill the arms up and over to cross and touch the other knee, which, you can just march, or you can cross the hands, or you can windmill the arms. I like to give you lots of options. So wherever it is that you can be, fully, comfortably balanced in the pose is where you want to stay. Beautiful. We're going to come into mountain pose. So bring the feet hip width apart and really feel your feet on the floor. So imagine that you're at the beach and you're rooting down into the sand and you're kind of really anchoring your feet down into the earth. Lift off 10 toes up and spread them wide and set them gently back down on the mat. So again, you're connecting down. You might suction cup your feet down, whatever feels good to you. And then imagine that you're lifting your whole inner central channel up and open. So the crown lifts up and open to heaven, to spirit, to magic, mystery, inspiration, whatever you want to call on. So you are the conduit between heaven and earth. We are, part of the planet, we're part of the universe, we're connected. And the more that we can remember that, then we can feel the support of heaven and earth with us all the time. That support helps us to find our centers, to ground, to be in that eye of the storm when the chaos is, moving fast around us, helps us to bring us back home to ourselves and our essence and our center. Balancing poses can help with that as well. So setting your gaze on an unmoving object in front of you, not the computer, but like a spot on the floor or the wall. Pour the weight of the body into the right leg, and then lift your left heel on top of your right ankle. So this is a kickstand mountain pose. Or you can bring your foot up to your calf or up to your thigh, just not on your knee. Never put any tension on the knee. Hands can be down to the sides. They can be open above, in prayer overhead, or prayer at the heart, wherever it feels best to you. And keep your focus on an unmoving object and your breath. And release out and shake it out. So let that go. Stand back into your mountain pose. We want to practice mountain pose. It's that grounded, uplifted, centered place that we can step into at any moment in our life, just by remembering that we can come here and land with ourselves. Set your gaze on an unmoving object in front of you. Pour the weight into the left leg and bring your right ankle up onto your left heel for kickstand and tree, or you can bring the foot up to the calf or the thigh. Again, just never on the knee. Hands can be down to the sides, open, overhead, in prayer overhead or at the heart. And release down, shake it out. We're gonna squat down and just sort of move head, neck, shoulders, hips, kind of loosen everything up, and then come to our seats. I'm gonna do boat pose or Navasana. Your hands can be down behind you, lifting the shins up so that they're parallel with the floor. Want to roll the shoulders back, lift the heart up so that your back is flat. You can also bring your hands behind the knees. Again, the goal of this is to have the spine be erect. And in order to do that, you have to use core strength. So this is a core strengthener. So really feel into your belly and, sort of see if you can find ease with rolling the shoulders back, lifting the heart up and floating the legs up. Breathing. Cross the right ankle over the left and draw the knees into the chest. You can set back up either with your hands behind or behind the knees or out to the sides. Either way, what you really want to roll the shoulders back, lift the heart up, straighten the back, and engage core strength, and breathe. Cross the left ankle over the right and hug the knees. Bring the heels to the hips and just ever so slowly lower the spine down, one vertebra at a time, Really engage core strength. Feel your belly strong. Beautiful. We're going to bring our heels to our hips. Our fingers touch the backs of the heels. Take a breath in. Press the heels into the floor. Lift the hips high. And then draw your shoulder blades towards each other underneath your spine to open the chest up. Press the heels into the floor. Lift the hips high and breathe. On your exhale, lift up a little higher and then roll the spine one vertebra at a time down to the lower back is on the mat. Draw the knees together to lean against each other and the heels away. So you're TPing your legs to relax completely with your palms facing up. Draw the heels back to the hips, fingertips grace the heels. Take a breath in. Press the heels into the floor. Shimmy the shoulders underneath so that you're drawing the palms of your hands together. Clasp your hands and draw the hands down to the floor. Press the heels into the floor, lift the hips high and breathe. On your exhale, lift up a little higher, release the hands and roll the spine down to the lower back, meets the mat. Knees come together to touch, heels come apart, and palms face up to relax completely. You can grab a blanket, blocker, pillow, and draw your heels back to your hips. Take a breath in. Lift the hips up and bring your blanket, block, pillow underneath of your hips to rest in a supported bridge. Or you can bring your hands underneath of your hips and support your bridge that way. So whatever feels best to you. Soften your belly, and as you breathe in, just imagine that you're breathing in healing light and energy down into all your torso. And as you exhale, soften and relax all your organs. On your exhale, lift up a little higher, remove your blanket, block, pillow, or arms, and roll the spine down to the lower back is on the mat. Draw the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to soften wide open to the sides. Bring one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly to relax completely. We're going to do an inversion. So you can either bring your hips to the wall for legs up the wall. And as you snug your hips right against the wall, the legs rest against the wall. You can do Vipariti Karani, which is taking your prop, your blanket, block, or pillow under your hips and float your hips, your legs up overhead. if it's in your practice to do a shoulder stand or a headstand or a handstand and you're in a safe space and you can do that comfortably, you're welcome to do that as well. Our inversions are again allowing the lymph to pour down from the toes and the feet and the legs into the spleen to boost your immune system. Our inversions, especially legs up the wall and Viparita Karani, are restorative poses. A lot of people find it's very helpful if they can't sleep at night to do legs up the wall. You're gonna come out of whatever pose you're in, bring your feet down to the floor and come to your back. Draw your knees up to your chest and rock side to side. So see if you can move in a way that you're letting the weight of your body give the big muscles on either side of your spine a compression massage. So we want this to feel as good as you can make it feel. Winding down the practice, checking in with the body. Draw your knees up to your chest and roll to the left. Let your knees rest down on the floor. Rest your left hand on your right knee and extend the right arm out to the right along with your gaze. If your arm is kind of floating up off the floor, bring a blanket blocker pillow under to support it. Your gaze is at the right thumb. Relax your feet and your hands, your hips and your shoulders. Imagine that your shoulder blades are just melting down onto the floor. Take a deep breath in and ring out the practice by opening up those channels down your arms and your legs, out your fingers and your toes, and release any tension, tightness, or holding. And draw your knees back to center. Extend your arms and legs along the floor for a full body stretch and take a deep breath in. Stretch one side of the body and the other. And draw your knees back to your chest, giving yourself a massage with your back, rolling side to side or however it feels good to you. And tuck the knees tight up to the chest and roll to the right. Rest your knees on the floor. Your right hand is resting on the left knee. The left arm extends out to the left along with your gaze at your left thumb. So melt everything. Melt the shoulder blades down to the floor. Soften and open the chest muscles. Relax the shoulders and the hips, the arms and the legs. Take a deep breath in. Ring out the practice by just washing waterfalls of release and relaxation down your arms and legs, out your fingers and toes. And draw your knees back to center. Extend your arms and your legs for a full body stretch. Take a deep breath in. And try to engage every muscle in your body. So fingers, toes, belly button, nose, backs of the knees. Just stretch, stretch, stretch every muscle in the body. And then on your exhale, open up into Shavasana. It's the last pose of the practice. You bring your feet at least the width of the mat apart. Bring your elbows at least the width of the mat apart. Soften the forehead. Shut your eyes. Relax your jaws. Melt the spine down onto the floor. Soften your chest and your belly. Relax your hips. And let go of your arms and your legs and your fingers and your toes. Completely surrender everything to Shavasana and just let go. It's really important for your body to have a pause to integrate the practice. You can stay in Shavasana as long as you like. You could pause the video here and continue a deeper relaxation in Shavasana. For those of you ready to move out of Shavasana, take a breath in and breath out. Wiggle the fingers and the toes and gently turn the head from side to side. Roll over onto your side and give yourself a hug, a squeeze, some form of affirmation that you can receive and give to yourself. Appreciate all that it takes to make the space and time to gift your body, mind, and spirit with this practice. Give yourself another hug and then gently press up to a seated position with enough support under your hips to allow the spine to float effortlessly up. And take just a brief moment of stillness. And extend the arms out to the sides and inhale the hands overhead, palms touch, bring the hands to the heart. We'll close our practice with one big fat juicy Om. Take a breath in. May we all feel our connection to ourselves, each other, and the universe in a way that is peaceful and loving and compassionate. Take your heart in your hands, bring your hands to your third eye, where we acknowledge the divine light of love in ourselves and in each other with Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today in this gentle practice from Hall's Pond Healing Arts. If you're interested in finding out more of the offerings, you can look at our website or Facebook page. And I hope you have a glorious day today. Remember to drink lots of water. Hydration is another thing that can really counteract anxiety. And it seems like a simple, gentle practice, but it's still a lot of movement. So make sure to hydrate And I hope you have a wonderful day where you're able to incorporate some of these things. And if tension or anxiety arises, that you can remember a few of these things and, just try them out and see if they're useful. 1,000 blessings and take good care. Bye.